Winning cures everything. Now for your hosts, Gary and Chris.
Welcome in. Winning cures everything. It's Friday, September the 25th. I'm Gary.
And I'm Chris.
And it is a football Friday. I am so stoked about this. Now, we're going to talk a little MMA, a little boxing, whatever you want to call it today. But for the most part, this is all football stuff. And, Chris, I don't know if you saw this, but we got everybody back. The whole thing is back. Every last FBS conference is going to be playing this fall. We're going to discuss every single bit of it. But before we do that, let me give you the rundown, of course. WinningCuresEverything.com is the website. I'm actually sharing it out on Facebook right now. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us wherever the hell you want to find us. We are all over creation. That is right, my friends. The website, of course, WinningCuresEverything.com. Picks, previews, podcasts, videos, social media platforms, etc. Everything is right there. It's all right there. If you're looking at the show online, we have got all new backdrops, whatever you want to call it. I kind of changed up the look a little bit. Wanted to get that Winning Cures Everything right up there at the top. So we're making sure that we're looking good for everybody out there. Terry jumps in already on Facebook. He said, "What's up? What is up, Terry?" Hopefully everybody is getting ready to have a fantastic SEC football weekend. If you want to catch up with all of our college football coverage, go over to sbrpicks.com/NCAAF. Chris and I both write an article every single week, and we do several videos a week discussing the games that are coming up this weekend, etc. We are discussing the betting lines, discussing everything else that comes along with it. You can find it all over at the Sportsbook Review YouTube page, sportsbookreview.com, or sbrpicks.com/NCAAF. Terry said, "I thought y'all said the Miami Jags game was going to be good." Well, look, I'll tell you this. Not every single game is going to be fantastic. But no, that one was not.
We were wrong, Terry. We were wrong.
We were wrong, and we're going to be wrong.
We both took the Jags. We were wrong on that.
We were definitely wrong on that. Good gracious. Minshew Mania did not look good. But we'll get into that here momentarily. Go to sbrpicks.com/NCAAF. Get all of our picks for the week, along with our breakdowns of the games, etc. You know how to do it. If you want to get involved in the show like Terry has already done, you can help drive the conversation. You can help drive the narrative. You can be part of the show. Just jump in your chat box, whatever platform you are on. We're live on Periscope, Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube, and all of those different platforms will populate right there in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. There is a chat box right there. Terry said, "I'd be doing good if the damn Cubs could clinch the division." Well, you've been a Cubs fan long enough to know that they never make anything easy. So, just be patient. You don't have long to go. We're going to be just fine. The Cubs are going to be all right. I think
one World Series in 100-something years would suffice.
You would think.
You're so damn needy, Terry.
Let's talk about some football, man. Let's do this. We'll dive into baseball playoffs and whatnot next week. Today, though, it is a football Friday. We got things to discuss, my friend. Last night, like Terry said, we had the Dolphins and the Jaguars playing on Thursday Night Football, and it was kind of a dud. It was not a dud for the Dolphins. I will say that. Ryan Fitzpatrick looked absolutely incredible. What was he, 18 out of 20? I mean, just looked unbelievable.
And then once they got the big lead, they just sat on it.
Yeah, and
that's when the game got boring, is they just sat on it. Oh. They didn't try to do anything, and the Jags couldn't do anything.
Yes, it did get boring. It most certainly did. But, you kind of expect that from a Brian Flores team. Once you get a big lead on a team that you are realizing in game time that they cannot come back on you, just gets boring.
You're just trying to win the game. You're just trying to win the game.
And that's one thing that the Dolphins have shown us. They want to win. They absolutely want to win.
Brian Flores is not he's not in the tank with anybody. He's fighting like hell to get every W.
You've got that right. Dolphins end up winning 31-13. Gardner Minshew was not awful. He did throw a pick, but he was 30 out of 42, 275 yards. James Robinson from Jacksonville, he's kind of been a breakout player here. 6 receptions, 83 yards. He had 11 carries for 46 yards. That's not great. But Minshew looked okay. He just could not get the ball moved, and that might have a lot to do with the fact that DJ Chark was ruled out before the game. So you never know.
I think that had a lot to do with it. But at the same time, at some point in time, you got to find some offense somewhere.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. We should have seen this, Gary. I said this was going to happen on the show the other day. We didn't have any underdog upset at all until you got to Monday night. This week, I said it. It's going to be a bloodbath for favorites. Why on earth did we not think that this would be right in that category?
Oh, yeah. I think there's going to be a lot more on Sunday as well. And
I do too.
Monday night.
But to not conceive that this could happen was just foolish. That's just foolish on my part. Just foolish.
And same here. I mean, I made the same pick as you did. I mean, we were both a little biased in our
An average of 5 to 7 a week happened, and we got 1 out of 16 last week. If we hit 8 or 9 this week, it won't surprise me.
No, I agree with you 100% there. 100%. Terry said, "Hey, Chris, y'all got 3 in the last 10 years. I've only had 1 in my entire life." Talking about World Series.
That's 4.
4.
4, Terry.
How about he's talking about in the last 10 years, right? It wasn't 4 in the last 10.
2004 was the first. Yeah, okay. 2004 was more than 10 years ago.
There you go.
I'm bad at math.
He said the first half was fun. That second half was boring. The Dolphins didn't even try to score in the second half.
Didn't try to score. I mean, didn't. Old man Chan Gailey, when you talk about sat on a lead, he just quit calling plays. They did the definition of sat on a lead.
No, you have got that right 100%.
It was pretty rough to watch.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I, myself, ended up turning the game off in the second half. I flipped around. I watched UAB on the other TV. They just demolished South Alabama. It was just ugly football games all around last night. So it was kind of an easy night to sit and hang out with the family because I know that Saturday, it is all football all day, baby. All day.
Yep.
With that said,
I took the opportunity to do a little bit of work last night.
Yep.
Put in a little bit of work.
Get that thing out there and do your thing. Let's hey, why don't we go ahead and discuss that? Because I'm talking about a full Saturday. Let's go ahead and move into the Saturday, and we won't talk about what other work you did last night. But
okay, I didn't want to today.
You're good. There. You're good. We're not going to discuss that. It's all good. We will discuss, however, the SEC is officially back, and I am stoked about this. Let me pull up my theme music here. I want to make sure it's not too loud for one, but yeah, let's see if we can get this rolling. All right. You feel that? That's chill bumps.
We're not going to hear that much longer.
You're right. Maybe they'll buy it back.
Nope. ESPN's not buying it, or whoever the hell buys it. They're not paying for that music. They're going to bring their own music.
Isn't that terrible? I'll tell you this. Right now, I don't know if you can see, I got chill bumps. I got goosebumps on my arm because it is time. It is time for SEC football. I am stoked about it.
Real man football.
Look at this thing. It's 2 minutes long. We're only 40 minutes in.
I don't know that we have the rights to that, by the way. So don't everybody talk about us sharing that out. All right, let's keep this in the family. Let's keep the lawyers at bay.
There you go.
Deep. Sorry, we didn't mean it.
All right, so we got a ton of SEC football, and it's they staggered the games, and there's pretty good games all through the day, right? 11 a.m. you got Kentucky and Auburn, you got Florida and Ole Miss, and then you jump over to 2:30, and you've got LSU and Mississippi State. You jump down to the 6 o'clock, 6:30 games. You got Alabama, Missouri, which is
all the 6 o'clock games are terrible. But when you get to Tennessee,
no, sir, man. The 6. Well, that's what I'm saying. 6:30 is Tennessee and South Carolina.
I thought that was like 7th. I thought the SEC game started late.
No, it's like
7:30.
It's like 6. It's like right after the Alabama Missouri game starts.
Yeah. No one's gonna watch that. It's a bloodbath.
That right there. So that's 3 games that I think could end up being highly entertaining. Right, Kentucky, Auburn, LSU, Mississippi State, and I fully expect LSU.
Listen, I think Florida Ole Miss is going to be a fun game.
It most certainly could be. It most certainly could, and that's another 11 a.m. game.
Yeah.
Aside
we're gonna roll right from game day into that game.
Yeah. I can't wait. So, not just discussing this weekend, but let's talk about what you are actually most excited about for the SEC coming back. Now, it doesn't have to be a game. It doesn't have to be a player. It can be whatever you want it to be. I want you to think about what you're most excited about seeing this fall. And I'm going to tell you this. I am most excited about hopping on the grill tomorrow while I'm actually watching football games. There's that little crisp in the air. It's going to be a little warmer tomorrow. It's going to get back up to 80.
It's fall, man. It's so nice here.
Oh, it feels so good outside right now. So good outside. Terry said, damn, y'all are starting to get real sound effects. Way to go big time, guys.
Hey, that's not real big time. That's fake big time. Don't nobody talk about that.
You got that right. We got other ones, though. We got all kinds of stuff.
That one don't cost us anything. The other one, I've talked a lot of shit about Gary Daniels over the days. All right.
That's true.
They will come after us.
So, like I said, I am stoked about grilling and actually watching football while the grill is going. That smell combined with the sound of that theme music combined with just, the sound of all these guys calling games and the hitting of the pads and the back. I'm pumped. I cannot wait. I am so ready for SEC football this year. And we'll talk about everything else coming back and whatnot here in a minute. But give me your most excited thing that you're pumped about.
I'm most excited about the state of Mississippi being the epicenter of college football right now. and I know that Coach Prime is a big deal right now. And that's a Jackson thing, not an SEC thing. But it all started with the Lane Train and Mike Leach.
Oh, yes, it did.
That's it. And that's what I'm most excited about. I want to see what those two gentlemen do in the SEC. I think Mississippi State is probably going to start off their first couple of games putting up obscene number of points. I don't know if they'll win or not. I don't know how many times they'll cover or not. But I think Leach has been waiting his entire life to get back to the SEC to show them I can put up points on anybody.
You might be right about that. Terry jumped in and said, let's go Mississippi State. We don't stand a chance in hell, but I can't wait for it.
I don't know that you don't stand a chance in hell.
I agree. I don't know. I mean, we'll see.
I'm most excited to watch that game. It's got my team in it, and we're replacing, like 15 to 17 of the 22 starters. All right. And so that's kind of a big deal. So this is basically an entirely new team that I'm going to go watch. And I'm excited to see that. But I really, I've waited my entire life for Mike Leach to get back to the SEC. I've waited my entire adult life for him to come back home. And this is where he belongs. And I want to see what he can do with this team in this conference against these defenses. That's what I want. And to see Lane have a second shot in the SEC, a second stint, those are two things that I care most about. Lane, not so much this year because I think the recruiting violations are just going to hurt them and it's going to take them a while. But I don't know that means they can't be competitive early.
Yeah, I think
a bet that I thought about that I liked real good, and I picked this up from hanging out with my buddies last night that are Ole Miss people. I think I like Ole Miss first half against Florida. I think because of the violations, it's going to be hard for them to hang with them in the game. But that's all a depth issue, which means I think they could come out hot in the first half and hang with them.
Yeah. You might be right.
It's later in the game where Florida's just going to destroy them in the trenches and could possibly take over. But get out hot, get out early, make some big plays. I trust Lane to be able to do that. I think I really like Ole Miss first half.
Okay, I'm with you, and we will be talking more about that tomorrow morning, of course, on the SBR YouTube page. Make sure that you
I'll bring that up there too as well.
Yeah, tune in at 10 a.m. Central Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, of course, over at sbrpicks.com/NCAAF. Make sure you are subscribed on the YouTube page. That's where we're going live. So make sure you jump in. Our YouTube comments are not jumping up on the stream for whatever reason, but I've pulled up YouTube and we are seeing what's going on. Let's see. Joseph Gomez jumped in, coming down to reality moment for the Jaguars. He said the Jets have a chance, but I wouldn't bet on it. Chris laying more than just floors nowadays. There you go. Let's see. Joseph said Gary went on mute for a minute. We heard nothing. Who knows what happened? Who knows? But everybody can hear me now, so I think we're all right. Damien said, what's up? Joseph Gomez said, a sprinkle on the money line, Ole Miss, why not? And then Joseph said, you're good, Gary. It was in reference to the song that shall not be named. So there you go. So we got everybody in. Everybody's rocking and rolling. Terry said, I'm tending the grill now. Flank steak and chicken for fajitas tonight. Drinking a beer, listening to y'all. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, boy.
That's, hey, I got a 12-pack raring to roll early tomorrow. As soon as we get done with the show, popping a top, and let's rock and roll. It's going to be a good day, a very, very good day. And very soon, it will be a good day for everybody else across this country. The Pac-12 announced that they're coming back in a press conference last night. And then after that, the Mountain West announced. So the Pac-12 is coming back the weekend of November the 6th, right? The Mountain West announced they are coming back October the 24th. And they're doing a 7-game schedule. The Pac-12 is doing a 7-game schedule. Or I think Mountain West is trying to get 8 in. Pac-12 is doing 7. The MAC just announced today they are doing a 6-game schedule starting the week of November the 4th. So they will be playing on November 4th, which I think is like a Wednesday. And they're going to have games all the way through. We have everybody back. So everybody that came out and said that it was a terrible idea and that they'll never get it off the ground and et cetera, I am waiting to hear your reaction. I want to hear what you got to say now.
I'm fired up. I know you're not directing that at me.
No, not you.
All the people, but no,
you've been with me this whole time. We all said that we needed it. Like the
need
kids
to play.
need this.
Yeah, we need to play. Kids do the right thing, and you're going to be rewarded with playing, and they're getting rewarded with being played, and that's what should happen.
It's so ridiculous. All these times that we hear all this crap about kids need to be paid and it's unpaid labor, and it's, yes, we all understand that, but it takes away from the fact that these kids want to play football. They want the opportunity to get out there and put stuff on film and have the opportunity to go into the NFL or whatever else. I know that I did when I was younger. I needed structure in my life.
Yes.
So this is what I'm talking about. We need this stuff back. These kids need it back. We got to get off the schneid of everybody just sitting at home and waiting. Sitting at home and waiting is causing suicides to skyrocket. It's causing opioid overdoses to skyrocket. The numbers don't lie in this case. It just is what it is. So there's more trouble to be gotten into whenever everybody's sitting at home doing nothing. Like, it's just a problem. And I'm glad that everybody has seen the light and realized that there is a safe way to do this. And so long as you've got a carrot at the end of that stick, these kids are going to be able to come back, and the majority of them will do the right things, and they will be out there healthy and safe and good to go. Everything will be fine. Now, we have postponements and whatnot, and that shows you that everybody is taking this seriously. Postponements are not the end of the world. Every time I see one pop up, we've had 5 this week so far. Every time I see one pop up, I'm like, all right, that sucks. That really sucks, because we're missing out on some fun games. Notre Dame, Wake Forest, South Florida, Florida Atlantic, stuff like that. You hate to see it because you want these kids to be able to play. I mean, especially the kids over at Houston. Good gracious. I mean, they hadn't gotten to play at all this year. All of their opponents have had problems. But either way, I am glad that the Pac-12 and the Mountain West and the MAC are all coming back. It makes this fall football season that much better. I don't care how many games you play. 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. I don't care. I just want everybody back playing because I think it's better for the kids. You agree?
100%. That's what it's always been about.
100% for us. 100% for us. So with that said, we've talked about this a couple of times, but I wanted to bring this up because we saw it happen last evening. Purdue wide receiver Rondale Moore is opting back into the season, and I wanted to bring him up specifically because holy crap, is this kid entertaining. Like, I'm so
he's just a stud. He's just an absolute stud.
Yeah, I agree. I wanted to bring him up.
He has a chance to be top 2, 3 wide receiver taken in the NFL.
Oh, yes. Oh, absolutely. And we didn't get to see him very much last season, and that's why I was so adamant about bringing him up, because he was injured last year. I want him to come back and really show out this year. I think he's going to have opportunities to do that, especially in that Jeff Brom offense. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's dive into some of these comments right quick. Joe B said, "What's up with the Pat sweatshirt? I think I'm taking them and laying the points." How you feel about it?
Smart man. I like it. Bill Belichick coming off of a loss. The Raiders just came off one of the best games they're ever going to play. Very emotional game. Got to come back to the East Coast
On a short week.
Yeah, I think Bill's going to be ready to just destroy him.
You are probably right. Tommy Jarvis said State might stand more of a chance than you think. Corona has all the good teams messed up. It's true, but it's not just the good teams that are messed up. It's also bad teams as well. So you never know. I think both of these teams are doing complete rebuilds.
State's got a chance because they're a live dog in any game they play with Mike Leach at the helm.
Yes, I agree. Terry said, "Let's hope so. I'd love Mississippi State to come out with a win tomorrow." He said, "Hey, they didn't think they were going to finish the MLB season, but here we are going into a playoff, and they're talking about having fans at the LCS and the World Series." Yeah, that's the thing. So long as you get through it and you don't act like it's the end of the world when there are positive cases,
that's right.
You can get through this stuff.
Handle them, keep pushing through.
That's why you need good leadership in these positions. You need guys that will not overreact. Greg Sankey deserves, and he's the commissioner of the SEC, he deserves a whole hell of a lot of credit for this college football season actually happening, I think. He was the most level-headed person. He went to the ACC and said, we're not canceling until we absolutely have to. And he's been on several radio interviews and whatnot, and he said specifically that his medical advisors told him, hey, so long as you, just don't cancel yet, just every day accept the new information that you're going to get, because you're going to get new stuff every day. We're going to get new testing every day. You're going to get new ideas, new things every day about this. The more that you can wait, the more you can learn, the better your chances of playing are. If you decide at the beginning of August, we just can't do it, you're going to look like a fool later. Cheers to Greg Sankey. Cheers to Greg Sankey. Joseph Gomez said, I didn't think it would happen because the higher-ups couldn't get the testing straightened out. They really did in the end and left it more on the schools themselves, so good on the local administration. Cheers to that. Yeah, the Pac-12, I thought it was more the government situations out there that would not allow them to do it. They got their exemptions.
But they're letting the NFL, so they can't say, it's okay for the NFL guys to come together, but it's not okay for these college guys.
You are correct. So we got it back. We got it back. Tommy said more of a chance covering than winning, though, for Mississippi State. Yeah, probably. I mean, maybe. I don't know. LSU's got more talent, for sure. They absolutely have more talent. But we'll never know.
It'll be the most intriguing game at the start.
A football is oblong and funny-shaped, and you never know which way it's going to bounce. So Who knows what's going to happen on Saturday. The last topic that I want to hit today, short show, of course. We appreciate everybody that has jumped in here today. It's a Friday afternoon. Everybody's ready to go home and chill and watch SEC football all weekend long. Again, make sure you head over sbrpicks.com/NCAAF. Make sure you are subscribed to the Sportsbook Review YouTube page so that you can jump in with us live at 10 a.m. Central Time tomorrow. This has nothing to do with football, but I found it incredibly intriguing. And that is, Conor McGregor shared out a bunch of DMs about Dana White and what his plans for the 2020 year were and what they are now. And it appears that he is going to be fighting against Manny Pacquiao in the Middle East later this fall. Now, my question here is, he's still talking about coming back to the UFC later. Do you buy into the fact that they're actually going to fight? And two, do you think he's actually going to come back to the UFC after this?
Yes and yes.
I think I agree.
Yes and yes.
I think I agree.
He wants to make money. That's all he cares about doing. He wants to make money. Pacquiao will help him make money. And then after he, does his little stint with Pacquiao, this little stunt thing that they're going to do, UFC is going to have a fight ready for him by then, hopefully, because they'll want to profit off of him and, coming off of this big pay-per-view, whatever thing.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing is he will get his name back out there. And the way that this is set up, because Pacquiao and he are both under the same management, the same promotion company, all this kind of stuff. Let's see. Terry said, this is nuts. Who's going to prop Manny up for this fight? Isn't this man like 50? Yeah, he's on up there. But he hadn't looked bad in his last however many fights, to be honest, because I've watched all of them. He looks like he's in really good shape. But I would imagine that they will probably fix this to where McGregor gets the win, because Manny has lost a few down the stretch here. So I could see them setting this up. McGregor gets a win in boxing, and then he comes back. But I'm willing to bet that he does not come back to the UFC until they are allowed to have fans back in stadiums. That has been the biggest issue thus far, right? They know that he is the golden goose, and they don't want to put him out there until they can get a massive gate. And I understand it. So cheers to him. We'll see what happens. But anything that Conor McGregor touches always ends up being entertaining. So we're always going to talk about it. We may not talk about every UFC fight. I mean, there is a really, really good one this weekend with Adesanya and Costa. Terry said, why not fight Tyson instead? That'd be cool. I'd watch that. There's a weight difference, and you're liable to get your head knocked off. If you're McGregor, I wouldn't go into that one. As old as Tyson is, I wouldn't mess with that. But yeah, I think this is going to be very entertaining. Good for MMA, good for boxing, good for all combat sports. The UFC fight this weekend should be incredibly entertaining. Not a lot of late night football tomorrow night, so I will be up watching that one. Faux show. All right, let's see. Damian said McGregor just wants to get money to pay his lawyer getting out of prison in Europe. He was never in prison in Europe. I swear to God. All right, Terry said, don't forget to share, download, tell your friends, like, all that good stuff, and root on them Cubbies tonight. Yep. Hey, cheers. Cheers. Go Cubs. Go Cubs. Matt Miller said McGregor fought Tyson. His face would be looking at his butt.
All right, that's one way to put it.
I guess that's the way to go with it. Good gracious. All right. Is there anything else that we need to hit?
Nothing.
Let's get the hell out of here. Let's go start up them grills. Let's pop some tops on some cold ones. And SEC football is officially back, my friend. I cannot wait. Go over to the website, winningcureseverything.com. Make sure you are subscribed to the SBR YouTube page, and you can find it over at sbrpicks.com/NCAAF. Don't forget to join us tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Central Time, 11 a.m. Eastern, on the SBR YouTube page for the College Football Closing Line Show. We're going to talk about every game under the sun, and it's going to be an absolute blast. Thank you, everyone, for jumping in. Until until tomorrow, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and we will see you Saturday morning. Thanks for checking out Winning Cures Everything. If you want to keep up with us, hit subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast app. Visit the website at winningcureseverything.com, or you can like us on Facebook or follow us at Winning Cures, at Gary WCE, or at Chris B. Giannini on Twitter. Share out the show, leave a nice review, and make sure